All right, hello everyone. This is Mr. Woolwine. This is going to be the first of three video lessons that I would like you to watch today while I am away. Unfortunately, I'm at a meeting, can't be in class today. That also means I do not have win time today. However, I am available tomorrow, Wednesday, and on Thursday for a win time. So feel free to come see me then to either make up a test and or get extra help on the work we have been doing and or the work you're going to do today. So to start, I gave you page 11 as practice. I'm not going to grade that because I feel like I did not properly prepare you to do that, and so I would never grade you on that. However, I would like to go over it, and that'd be the first thing for you to take a look at today. So on page 11, we completed a couple problems up front. I think we completed 1 through 4, but then I also assigned questions 7, 9, 11, and then 14 at the bottom as well. Last time in class, what we learned about was point slope form. As you remember, or may remember, point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And where does that formula come from? It comes from knowing a slope, m, and knowing a point, x1, y1. Okay? So if I'm given a point, like this one, for example, 12, 5, and a slope, -3, I can write the point slope form equation for that line. In this case, for number 2, you probably have this down. It would be y minus y1 is 5. So 5 equals m, -3, times x minus x1, which is 12. Yeah. Okay, so this would be the point slope form equation of the line. Now coming down here, it says to graph the equation given here. And lucky for us, it is in point slope form. However, it doesn't look quite right. And I would say that the pluses are the things that don't look quite right, because point slope form tells us that it's y minus y1 and x minus x1. So therefore, shouldn't I see minus signs right here? However, what we saw last time is that when we have minus a negative, that makes a positive. So basically what that means, another way to write this is, instead of y plus 4, y minus -4 equals -3 times x minus -2. It was poorly written too. Okay. Then from here, I can pull out the m, the slope, and the point. M is pretty easy. M is the number in front of the parentheses. What number is in front of the parentheses? The -3. So m is -3. What's the point? Well, the point is our x1, y1. x1 is the number that's with the x. In this case, it's -2. And the y1's right behind the y. In this case, -4. Okay. Now, why did we do this? Why did we write that as minus or negative instead of just plus? It's because point slope form tells us to do y minus whatever y1 is. And so y minus -4 tells us that -4 is y1. Same thing with the x. So now that I have a point and a slope, I can graph this line. I start at the point -2, -4. I go from the origin, left 2, down 4, because it is negative. That's my first point. From here, I can use a slope of -3, which is like down 3 over 1, to go down 3 over 1. Uh-oh, I run out of room. However, I can go backwards. So instead of going down 3 to the right one, I can go up 3, 1, 2, 3, to the left one. And that's an old skill we've done before. And you can connect those points with a line. That's what it was going for there. If you'd like to try the other ones, you may do so. For number 9, I'll give you the point and the slope. M is pretty easy to find. Once again, it's always the number that's right outside of the parentheses. In this case, it's 3. So M is 3. That's our slope. Our point is the point x1, y1. x1 comes from this number, and y1 comes from this number. Because I see plus 6, I know that originally it had to be x minus -6. So x1 is negative 6. But since I already see a minus here, I know that y1 is just 1 because it's y minus y1. And since 1 is positive, I'll put a 1 there. Okay, so I go over to negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up 1 because the 1's positive. And then from here, I can go up 3 over 1. And that's actually all I can do. And that's my line. For number 11, it's actually the exact opposite type of problem. It tells us to write an equation in point-slope form from the line graphed. And so in order to write a point-slope form equation, we better have a point and better have a slope. We can actually pick from 2 points here. We're given 1 point here, 1 point here. I'll choose this one. That's the point 4, 3, because I have to go over 4 from the origin and up 3 to get to that point. So 4, 3 is our point. And once again, that's our x1, y1. X is always first. But we're not given a slope. However, we can find one, right? We can count from this point to this point the directions, right? Where do we go? From this point, we would go down 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to that other point. That's a slope. That's rise over run. Down 1 over 4. Since we're going down, that means our m is negative. Down 1 over 4. From here, we plug in. So instead of y minus y1, y1 is 3. So y minus 3 equals m, which is negative 1 over 4, times x minus x1 is 4. And that's it. That is the point slope form equation of that line. Lastly, number 14. It tells us to write an equation in point slope form of the line that passes through the 2 points given. Use the first point to write the equation. Okay, so let's just focus on the first line, the first instruction. Write an equation in point slope form of the line that passes through the 2 points. We're given a point, we're actually given 2 points, 4, 7, and 5, 1, but we're not given a slope. And if you remember, the other equation we learned last time was slope formula. Slope is m, and it's found by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'd recommend you rewrite that. Now, what are y2 and x2? What the heck? We were just talking about x1s, y1s. Where are the 2's coming from? Remember that x1 and y1 refer to a specific point. In this case, x1 and y1 would be 4, 7. x2, y2 could be the point 5, 1 because that's a second specific point, 5, 1. From here, we plug in to our slope formula. y2 is 1 minus y1, which is 7, all over x2 is 5 minus x1, which is 4. Then all we have to do is say, what is 1 minus 7? It's negative 6 over 5 minus 4 is 1, which is just negative 6. Sorry, let me pull up there. So our slope, our m, is negative 6. So with a slope and a point, I can use point slope form. Plugging in y minus y1 is 7 equals m is negative 6 times x minus x1, which is 4. That's the point slope form of that line. So like I said, this will be the first of 3 videos I'd like you to watch. This will be the review from last time when I asked you to do questions 1, 4, 7, 9, 11, and 14. We already did, I think, 1 and 4 together. So these should not have taken you too long. But once again, I apologize for not setting up very well to do 7 and 9. So that's why I wanted to go over it now. Please take a look at the next video as we go over pages 12 and 13.